Hey everyone, before we get started on today's video, if you didn't use a referral code when you signed up to drive for Uber, it is not too late to get a bonus of up to $1,000. You can use my code right now and you could get that bonus. It depends on when you signed up. It could be $500, could be $800, it literally could be $1,200. But you could literally just get that money right in your account just because you did give the rides then, but you didn't use a referral code. So real quick, here's how you do it. First, open your Uber driver app. Next, click the photo or the 3 lines in the corner. Click earnings. Then click help or question mark. Click account and payment. Then referrals. Now this is the most important step. Make sure you don't mess this one up. Click invited driver, report my missing or incorrect referral. Then click send a message. Type in my invite code. It's G4QA5UE. Guess who your friend's name is? Mr. Gregory Wave. That's right, your homie for life. Phone number 815-847-0184. And the email is gregwave@yahoo.com. In the details, just say my good pal Greg referred me to drive for Uber or something like that, and they'll take care of you. So check it out, guys.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name's Greg. For one, I hope you guys are all staying safe, taking a lot of preventative measures. I hope you're staying inside. I honestly hope none of you are really driving. So, times are crazy right now, you know. My policy in times like this is just play it safe. But I definitely understand why a lot of you are still driving. I definitely get that, you know, there's still is money that needs to be made. And you got to do what you got to do. So real quick, if you guys are driving, I would recommend disinfecting after every single ride. I would recommend keeping disinfectant wipes in the back seat, telling people to use them if they'd like, to wipe down surfaces that make them uneasy. And I would also recommend letting people know that you're cleaning after every single ride. And please be cleaning after every single ride. Don't lie to people and say that. But what I'm actually going to talk about today is basically is Uber and Lyft ending. I did a video on why I think now is the time to quit. And I kind of touched on some of this, but I wanted to go into this in a little bit more depth. So for one, we really don't know. You know, we really don't know what companies are going to survive this and what companies won't. So I'm not making this video to give a definitive answer, but I am going to just, you know, talk about some things we do know and what the implications might be because of that. So Uber claims they're going to be fine. They claimed they had a huge reserve amount of money or something to get through this. It is shocking to me, being that like every quarter they're in debt, you know. So, but these big companies, they have lots of loopholes, you know, and Uber and Lyft are both massive franchises. So what I could see happening, I could see maybe Lyft not making it and Uber does, or vice versa, but I kind of doubt that. But so I could, there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of directions this could go. So let's talk about some of these. Jeez, a loud car. I don't know if you guys could pick up on that, but got this little mic on. I'm not sure how well it kind of clouds everything else, but so the thing that scares me about the future of Uber and Lyft and where I think it's headed is that we don't know how long this could all last. I think in theory, a lot of big companies are going to be fine because they have a reserve amount of money, but like, how long is that really going to last you? You know, let's say that things stay crazy until the end of summer and life doesn't return to normal until fall, you know, till like September, October. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, hypothetically, let's say that happens. Are they going to survive that? Are they going to survive, what are we talking, April, May, June, July, August? Like five to 7 months, we'll just say. Well, we'll say 4 to 6. Let's say 4 to 6 months at the craziest. How many companies would survive that? You know, I don't personally know, but like it seems to me that not many could. I'm sure things will slowly progress too. Like maybe now it's at its worst, and maybe as things go on, you know, some of us will slowly be able to drive a little bit more. Maybe the rides will pick up a little bit more. So maybe things just don't ever recover normally. That's also a possibility. I think the most likely outcome personally is that they survive, but they're never the same again. Like the apps as a whole are just completely different. Like that's what I feel like would be the most likely outcome, you know? But I do think there's a good chance that neither company makes it. And the reason I think that is I think that everything is going to last a little bit longer than we think. I mean, we're dealing with something that we just know not too much about yet. Schools and stuff are pretty much closed indefinitely. Most graduations have all been canceled. So I just feel like we're going to be in a season of time where people stay inside a lot, and people aren't going to be going out and partying and doing all the things they used to do as much. Even if things open back up, I still feel like a lot of people would want to play it safe for an extra few months, you know? And so if they're doing that, there's just not going to be business. And so even if things get a little bit closer to back to normal, I feel like there's still a really good chance that it's just never the same, you know? So that's one outcome. I feel like that's the outcome of it not surviving, is that they just take way too big of a financial hit because it lasts for 4 to 6 months. And they can't recover afterwards. I think that there's also a possibility that they could use this as a massive push for automation, as like one last attempt to save the company. Maybe they get one mega investor who decides to take a risk on them. They buy a fleet of cars and they go towards automation and slowly start building from there. That's a possibility too. But what I think you guys should get the most from this video is I want you guys to contemplate the possibility that this is the end of Uber and Lyft. And I want you to be prepared for that, because the best thing you can do in these times is stay prepared. Stay as ahead of the curve as you can. Some of you have been driving for 4 or 5 years and you've done this full time and you don't know what you're going to do. And I get that. Like, I get that this message is probably really scary, really threatening. But it could be a reality. And like I said, maybe it all blows over, nothing changes. That's also a possibility. But that's the problem. We know nothing right now. And anything could happen. Anything's a possibility. And I would implore you, prepare for the worst and don't assume things are going to be normal. So ultimately, if I had to guess, I would say it won't permanently end. Like this, and this is strictly my opinion now. I don't think it'll end. I think it'll keep going. I really think it's just always going to be different. I think that once we all go back to driving, it's just never going to be the same. I will probably never personally give another ride in my life. I was barely Ubering before. I hadn't even given a ride since New Year's, and I kind of announced after New Year's that was like my last time probably driving. But I always thought, you know, there might be an occasion where I pick it up again, do a few rides here and there, bored on a weekend, might do it. But after all this, I'm kind of thinking I definitely won't, because the thing that scares me now is like seeing how quickly these things can escalate. You just have a greater chance of anything bad happening if you're a rideshare driver. Like, that's the reality. I mean, even just a car accident, you have a really high chance of getting in a car accident every day that you Uber, because statistically you're on the road more. You're just increasing your chances of being in a fatal accident. And I don't say that to be this like doomsday negative person. I say that because it's just a reality, you know? And so now you add in things like that to the equation, and I was just like, man, now I know I'm really never giving a ride again. But yeah, I would say my main prediction is that it's just never going to be the same again. I think it'll continue. I just feel like there's going to be some drastic difference to how the companies operate. Because if you guys remember, they were under a ton of flack. I can't remember if I already went over this or not, but they were under a ton of flack before all this happened for different reasons. I mean, Uber is probably averaging 3 lawsuits a year minimum, like major ones. Both companies have reported, being in debt nearly every quarter. Obviously, that data can be weird because these companies always have loopholes and ways of surviving when they're that big. But that's the data, is that they're in debt almost every single quarter. So they've been dealing with that. They've been dealing with lawsuits. They've been dealing with local governments basically wanting them to treat us as employees, which would kill their operation costs and the way they do things. They've had so many factors. This, to me, is either going to be the nail in the coffin, or it's going to be the beginning of a transformative change for Uber and Lyft, because they've got to adapt. And I think how the world will act after this is going to need adaptation from a lot of businesses and a lot of companies. So yeah, I would say that would be my main point with that. I want to go over some things with you real quick. I'm doing this in almost every single video, but you guys can get assistance from the government. There's a huge bill being passed for that, but you have to have filed your taxes. So make sure you file your taxes so that you can get some financial help during these crazy times. Talk to friends and family for help. Most people are going to understand that we're pretty much the least taken care of. Freelancers get really screwed in situations like this. So, talk to your family and friends. Let them know what you're going through. This is a time to be humble and be willing to ask for help. Switch to delivery. Delivery's got a lot more business right now than Uber and Lyfting. And as long as you wear gloves and just are very careful, I think you're going to be safe, So delivery might be a good option right now. It might not be incredible, but if you can make $13 an hour doing delivery instead of like 6 or 7 or whatever you guys are making right now anyways, that might be a good option to look into. I know a lot of grocery stores are hiring. Some of the businesses that are still in business are probably hiring for huge demand. I would imagine toilet paper factories are like out the wazoo right now. But yeah, guys, so that's what I got for this video. I hope you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'll do my best to really stay on top of getting you guys good information to help you guys during these times. But more than anything, this time is about you. You can use this time to either transition into a new season of life where you're pursuing something totally different, or you can use this time and be worried and freaked out and not get anything out of it. But it is a rare day and age where this many people are getting this much alone time to sit and pray and meditate or do whatever you do that helps you get creative and think of ideas. This is an amazing opportunity, I'm telling you. Because I know some of you would probably never have a few weeks or more to sit down and think about and evaluate your life and what you're doing. So use it for that. That's the one positive thing out of this whole scenario, is you're forced to be at home and think. So get some plans, get some ideas of businesses you could start, of different jobs you can look into, things that would make you happier, anything like that. Use it as a time to push your dream forward. So, alrighty guys, stay safe and we will talk soon.